Hey guys, it's Tony. Welcome back. I've got a really cute project to share today. This is an accordion style scrapbook box. Look at this thing. It is adorable. I got the idea from Jeannie over at Polly's Paper Studio. I've been watching her channel for a couple years. I love the things she makes. She makes all sorts of little cute books, folios, different cards, things that fold up, and little cute scrapbook things like this. So I don't think I actually assembled it the same way, but the idea is definitely hers, and I just changed the papers, of course. So we're using the Storybook Moments, and look at all this cute stuff. So each pocket, this is an accordion style, so there's 6 accordions in here. Each one has a tag that you can put pictures on, and then I've got some booklets, and then I alternate the booklet and just a regular photo mat, okay? And then each little tag has like tuck spots, but look at these, so cute. Actually, let's pull them all out so you can get a look at the accordion part. I want to keep these all together. But such a cute size. And I think, you should be able to get maybe 30 pictures in here. All right. But look at that. So our accordion pockets, very easy. I love it. I love the size. So the back here is like 5 by 5. And obviously sits up. And then you can put all the things in. So, and you can add more. I'm sure that, it seems like there is plenty of room in here. Whoopsie, upside down. So anyway, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to make it. And again, I'm using the Storybook Moments, but you can use whatever paper you have. I really think a pack that has something that you can die cut or, cut some of these cut aparts, if it has cut aparts, or something like 3x4s. I think that would be best, but you can make do with whatever. All right. So anyway, let's get to it. Thanks. Okay, you guys, we're going to get started. We are first starting with the accordion pieces. So you're going to cut 6 pieces that are 3 by 11. So you'll have your cardstock like this, 8.5 by 11, and cut 3 and 3. So you're going to need 3 pieces for this. All of them we're going to score at 3 and then 8. All right, and we're folding, burnishing, and gluing all of these together. So I'm going to put a line of glue here and here. It's going to overlap a little bit. All right, put that away. And then we'll do the same thing for the others. Now, I'm probably going to speed through parts like this where it's just repetitive. But same thing. Scoring everything at 3 and 8. And then gluing together. Okay, so we've got all of our accordion pockets. That's what these really are. Now we're going to glue them together, and we're going to glue with the nice side facing us. It doesn't really matter though, because it's going to get glued into the book, but we're only going to put glue like right in the middle. Now, when Jeannie did hers, she had used a Post-it, had a template. I'm just going to eyeball because it's not really critical. I don't think anyway. The point is just to get them stuck together. All right. And actually, let's just take a ruler. So 5, so half will be 2.5, which is kind of where I put it anyway, like right here. See, didn't even know. All right, so we're gonna glue these together. And I'm not rushing per se, it's just this part doesn't take that long. Excuse me. All right, last one. So we have 6 of these. Oopsie. All right, and then we're gonna set these aside. So here's our accordion. Like, isn't that cool? It gives me some ideas for some other stuff. So we'll put that aside. The next we want to work on is the back of our box. So, and I already glued one of these on. So you're going to start with a piece that is 5 by 10, scored at 5. And then your designer series papers, I just went with her same measurements because I didn't feel like redoing math. She likes a small border, so it was 4 7/8 by 4 7/8 for the designer paper. Now, see how this has a pattern? You want it, this is going to be facing up like that. So make sure you cut your paper and put it on both sides correctly. All right, if it's directional. So I'm just gluing this on. And again, teeny tiny border. Whoopsie. That didn't want to go on quite exactly right. All right, let's smash all this glue around. Burnish, burnish. All right, so that'll be the back of our box that's gonna sit up, and we will come back to that. Then we've got the front of our box. All right, so this piece is 5 wide by 6 tall, scored in half at 3. Then I've got this timeless plaid paper. This is 2 7/8 tall by 4 7/8. So I did mix in some of the timeless plaid with the storybook moments just because they go together and I wanted some of the different patterns. All right, that looks good enough. Okay, so back of the box, front of the box. Then we've got our side pieces. And again, this is, I didn't tell you, but pecan pie. All this so far is pecan pie. These pieces, so we're going to have 2 of them. They are 3 inches tall by 5 inches wide. And we scored at, you're going to score at 1 1/4 and 3 3/4. All right, so let's do that. Burnish our fold marks. And then our designer paper, I just used the same pattern as the front because it came out of the same piece. I didn't want to throw it away. So these pieces are 2 7/8 tall by 2 3/8 across. And we're just going to glue these on. Okay. There's one of our side pieces. And let's get this one glued on. I can't tell you how long I've been wanting to make this little box, scrapbook box project. I'm probably going to do it again for maybe in August when for the Halloween papers that are coming out in July. I was looking at my schedule and I just don't think I can do it till then. All right, here's our side pieces. Now the base of our box. Okay, so now we've got the base of the box, and this piece is 5 by 10 1/2. And you want to score it at 3 and 5 1/2. And I've already burnished those. But this is how we're going to start to build our box. And we want to, so the side pieces are going to go in like this. All right, or around. Our back piece is coming over here. And then the front piece goes, again, like slides over all this. So we're gonna start with our back piece, all right? And we only want to attach the front. So this is all 5 by 5, this is 5 by 5. So we're gonna end up gluing this just down to as far as it goes, right? We don't want it to impede our score line there, but it's not going to because it's catching at the top. So all I'm gonna do, I've got that where I want it. Hold that in place. I'm gonna add all my glue. Now, if you wanna use tape, score tape, and glue, like Jeannie, go for it. I'm cool with just using glue. Plus, I get a little bit of wiggle room. All right, so let's burnish that, get that glue spread out. All right, now we're gonna glue this later. So we wanna start with, I think we're gonna start with our side pieces. So our sides, they've got these tabs. We want this to go here because that's gonna make a sandwich, okay? So we don't wanna see this flap. So I think the best way is just to glue this. And this part may differ from Jeannie's, how she did her final assembly, but I like to have everything touching the ground or the table, right? And let's just get that. I'm just pressing it all down and lining it up with the side just so everything is in alignment. So I'm going to do that side. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. And notice I still have not attached that. So this is looking good. Yep, that looks good. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Actually, let me flip this over. Do a little bit of burnish. I like it. So now I can go ahead and glue the back, all right? Because I've got all these, I've got my side bits that I'm gonna cover, my side flaps. I can feel this already starting to get sturdier and sturdier. A, with all the cardstock layers. B, with all this glue. And let me just get in here and burnish that down. It's really cool how different people come up with different ways to make a box, whether it's like one piece or like this, where we're basically putting 5 pieces together. Like, I like it. I like the learning. All right, now, do we see how this is going to come together? And there, we're going to have our box. So we can do this. I'm pretty sure this is how she did it, but this is how I'm going to do it. Yep, that's going to fit quite nicely. So, let's go ahead and add glue to our flaps. I think she may have put her flaps on the inside. But I am liking it along the outside here because then we're going to be covering this up anyway. And I can see that it's hitting that straight. Like the bottom of the box is going to be flush across, and I like that. All right, up. And we're just folding that in. Nice. And actually, I'm going to take my bone folder, and all I'm doing is going inside and like pressing down. Nice. Now notice you can see the holes. It's not a completely closed box, and that's fine. We don't need it to be because we're putting our accordions in here. Okay, now let's bring in our front, the front of our box. And again, we're just going to fold that, fold it over, glue it. Now the reason why we didn't put anything here, designer paper, is because that's going to get hidden by our accordions anyway. So let's just put the glue on the back first, just so I can make sure I get it squeezed and into place. All right, now I'm going to take my hand, actually take my bone folder, get all that glue dispersed. I love this. I really liked these Storybook Moments papers, but this is going to be a really cute little scrap box. I love it. Now, you could just make this box for anything and, you know, have like an open box with like stuff to put in it. I love it. Love, love, love. Of course, the back side. Now, our accordions are just going to sit in here, and I want to put glue like in the very middle. So the accordions are going to attach here and here. All right, so I think I'm going to start with that bottom one. And I'm just going to squeeze it. Actually, let's push it down. Hold that for a second. All right, and then the tricky part will be getting the glue. So I'm just going to go right up here. And that's all we really need. And then push this, squeeze it to the front. Try to put my hand in there, hold it down. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so we've got our 6 accordion pockets. Our box is 3 inches tall. Our accordion pieces were 3 inches tall. So that is perfect. Love it. Okay, now let's make some inserts. So her original plan was to have just flat inserts, like tags, if you will. So these are 4.5 by 4.5. I did 3 of these, just square. Then I wanted to make some booklets too. So I made 3 that are 4.5 by 9, and I scored it at 4.5. So still 4.5 inches square, but for some we can have a little booklet. All right, so we need, I did 3 of the booklets and 3 of just the mats. And I am going to alternate them. So we have booklet, mat, booklet, mat. All right, now we need 6 different pieces of designer paper. So again, I brought in some of the timeless plaids to go along with the Storybook Moments. So these are all 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. All right, and I just arranged them in the order that I wanted. Got some blue, cute little thing. I love that. So I'm just gonna glue these on. And I will probably fast forward through this. Okay, so we've got our little booklets and photo mats. So booklet, I'm gonna put that right in the front. Photo mat, put that in the number 2. Another little booklet. Photo mat. I was worried that the booklets would be too thick to fit in the pockets, but they're not. It's perfect. These accordion pockets are roomy. Nice, I love it. All right, next we want to work on some like tags or other things that we could put photos on. So we're going to have 6 pieces total that are 3 by 4. All right, I did 3 pecan pie, 3 crumb cake. I think these are 3 by 4. Yep. And then I cut different pieces, paper or from the cut apart sheet. Let's see which one goes with that. That's going to go there. So I'm just deciding who's getting what. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3 can go there. There. Okay, so I'm just going to glue these on. And again, we can put photos on both sides of these. Or you can do journaling. They can be journaling blocks, like whatever you want. But I do want to doll them up too with some of our die cuts. All right, and so they can go either way. They kind of get lost if you're going to put them sideways. So we should probably have them all sitting up anyway. All right, but let's just glue these on. Two more, and actually I'm going to come back because I have to figure out which die cuts I want to put on which pieces. Now, I will tell you that I will probably leave them. This is really cute with the ducks. When I put the die cuts on, I'm just going to grab one just to show you. And I can see that wasn't cut exactly right, but no one will know. So the die cuts. So I'm just going to pull this one out for whatever, for sample. So I want to put these on. I'm going to leave it open on the side. Okay. I'm just going to put glue here just so that we can tuck something in here. What if we wanted to put a picture on that and then right on the back? And they can hang off a little bit too. It doesn't matter because they're going to get put in our booklets, our little accordion. So I'm going to come back, pick out my die cuts and come back. Okay, I've got my 3x4 cards prepped. So I just glued on some of the die cuts. And like I said, leave the side and the top kind of open so that you can tuck something in here, because you may want to put a little picture there. All right. This one I actually used 2 different die cuts, but I glued just along the bottom of both pieces so that we can still tuck something under there. Now, are you going to want to cover up all this? Probably not, but whatever. All right, this one I glued so you can just still tuck something under there. This one is a top tuck, so this time you just glue the very tippy top. Okay. This one, I really love that rabbit, so I just put the little flower pot on here so you can add something in there. I probably don't want to cover that up, but... And then this one I just left plain. So we're just going to add these in. Now Jeannie had some really cute, like she put paper clips in every single one to like clip all this together and then tuck it in the packet. But I don't really feel the need to do all that. If I decide to add more, I might. And I can go back and add some die cuts to the front of these too, if I want. You can do the same if you want. All right, so I'm just going to tuck those in. I love it. So all I want to do now is add, create something for the front. So I went and cut 2 circles, one out of, I'm sticking with the pecan pie and the crumb cake. What size is this? The crumb cake is about 2 5/8, and I used my old layering circles dies for that, and then the eyelet embossing folder. And then this came from the Spotlight on Nature dies. That's about 3 1/4. So I kind of want to have this, and it's going to pop up the top, and that's fine, like pop over. That's totally fine. I want to add a little bit of ribbon. So I like this gold. I don't really have anything pecan or I do have basic beige, but let's just use the, I want to use the gold. So I just want to tie a bow, and it's just going to be a little one. Actually, I want it to be a little bit bigger than that. All right, so flip over, and you use whatever bow making trick or machine that you have. Okay. And where's my scissors? All right, here. I really like this gold trimmed ribbon. Striped, whatever it's called. Okay. Now, I wanted to just pick a couple of ephemera pieces, die cuts, whatever, to put on here. I kind of like these, but it covers up most of the pretty bits. So, nope, not on that. Then I was like, maybe these little guys, that could be cute. I kind of like this one because he's going to hang. The tree can be like right here. I do kind of like that one. And then I can add some little, there's some more little acorns over here. I don't really feel the need to put any greeting on this because A, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. But B, it can be for any, we'll just wait because we can probably put a little something there when we decide who's going to use this for what. All right, and then I'll just put these at a jaunty angle just to kind of even out the space. And where am I going to put this? All right, I want that there. I'll maybe have this like right over here. Or I don't like that anymore now. Nope. Nope, you know what? Ixnay on that. We're just gonna add, I'm going to do my little swoopy loopy. And this time the loopy part has to come across the side because remember this is gonna be like at near the bottom of the box. So let me just face this towards me. And I'm going to start here. Oops. Fold it over. I'm looping it about, what is that, like a 1/2 inch? All right, just like that. Yeah. Okay, I like that. And I do want to trim that one just a little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with that. The bow, the ribbon and bow was just too, it just didn't really fit. All right. Oh, yeah. I like that. Now, you can pop this up or you can just glue it flat. And I think for my purposes, I'm going to glue it flat. So I don't want glue on the top about that much. Oh, and look at that. That tape might be hanging over. So let me just roll that. Okay. That's good. Glue, glue, glue. And then I'm going to finish with a few little gems. So here, I'm just going to try to center it. And like I said, I'm putting it at the bottom of the box. Cute, 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 cute. All right, I'm going to stick my hand in here and squeeze. Just so that really gets down and sticks. Oh, I love it. Cute, cute, cute. I really like all of our little inserts. Okay, so now let's just add a few gems. I brought back these these were from Celebration, I don't know, last year or something, but pecan pie and the Calypso Coral seems to go too. Well, even the blue for that matter. I'm going to stick with the Calypso Coral just because I like those better. All right, let's do 1, 2. I don't want any out of that end. 1, 2, 3. Let's do 6 and one more. We shall decide on that. One, big one, oopsie. Little one. I think gold dots would be nice here too, because that would certainly pick up on the gold ribbon there. All right, we need one more. That is crazy, but I like it. One more, right there. All right, and we'll do another, let's do another small one. Okay. Neat. So here's our accordion style scrapbook box. I love it, with our 6, actually 12 inserts. So we've got a booklet and a little tag for each pocket. Now, this is roomy, so you can add more. All right, so I would bet you could even put 2 of these in each pocket. All right, so a lot of pictures here. Even if we add 2 pictures to each flat, so 6 times 2, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm giving an extra one to the ones that's like a booklet. So 15, we could add another picture to the small tags. That's another 6, so 21. I mean, and extras. I would say at least 30 pictures you can put on here, because both sides, you can use both sides. Love it. So I hope you guys enjoy that project. And again, I'll do this probably live in, I think August is when I was looking at my calendar that I can do it for a Halloween one with the new, I forget the name of it, but the new Halloween papers that are coming. Because they've got some patterns in there that would really do well to do cutouts for these tags. So anyway, thank you. Thumbs, hearts, like if you like it, let people know. Appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out. Bye.